Welcome to the June 20th Eclipse OpenJ9 community call. If you can add your name and affiliation to the list of attendees, it would be great so we have some idea of who's regularly joining the calls. In terms of our agenda, we have the usual one. If there's something you'd like to add, feel free to chime in right off the bat, or we can add it to the any other business section. For lightning talks, Cheng has offered to give a lightning talk next week on the FFI work. If somebody else has a lightning talk they'd like to give, please reach out to me. We'll get it scheduled. All right, and then take a quick look at the recent end user issues that have come in. Doesn't look like anything's come in the last couple of weeks, so that's is what it is. Is there anything in this list that needs some attention? All right, doesn't sound like it, so we'll jump back to the roadmap section of the agenda. All right, so Java 20.0.1 is our milestone for that is closed, and GA has been declared. Excellent. Thank you to everybody who put the work into getting those builds tested out and completed. All right, so that brings us to 0.40 release. We just pull up the milestone there. We still have 23 items in this plan, which is quite a bit given our timeline.
Yeah, I think most of those need to move out. So I've already asked Toby, and is Daryl on the call?
I didn't see Daryl. Let me just check the list of attendees again. Yeah, I don't see Daryl.
Yeah, so we need to, I'll poke Daryl and see if I can get him to move more stuff out, but there's no blockers anymore. We had some issues, but they're fixed. So we just need to clean this up.
Okay.
We're rapidly approaching M2, so we're not going to be letting too many more changes in.
Yeah, agreed. I downloaded 2 issues here for the Java 20.02, which is great to see.
Yeah, thank you, Babneet, for helping to clean that up this morning. We're going to get these 2 either closed or move forward as well so that this milestone can be closed.
Okay, are we close on these 2?
I don't know that they need to be fixed. We just have to decide. I think one of them we're running a grinder to see if it's already fixed. And the other one, it might just move forward to Java 21. It's for an incubator.
Yeah, the scoped values become preview in 21, so we will need those for 21.
Right, so what we've done is all the things that used to be here, we either close them because we're done with 20 as of when we ship 2002, or we move them forward to 21.
Okay.
And then I guess there was one thing where we're still hoping to maybe make some DDR updates in 0.40, so I moved that into the 0.40 milestone.
Okay. All right, so that's looking to be in better shape than we had been for a while. I guess we've got about a week till the start of M2. Did the triage for M1 complete?
Mostly. I'm not sure that we actually ran everything, but what ran successfully was triaged. So at this point, I don't know if we're going to do any reruns. We might just wait for M2.
Makes sense.
Published 20.
What's that?
Can we publish 20? We published the other 3.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
Are the CRIU efforts wrapping up sufficiently for the M2 deadline?
I don't think there's a whole lot more to go in. I guess Toby's not on either.
Just joined.
Oh, well, we could let Toby talk about it then.
Toby, I don't know if you heard what the question was. The CRIU efforts, we had said that there was a deadline of M2 to get the last bit of changes in. Are there any major changes you're waiting on for that?
So right now, just a couple bug fixes. I think we should be able to get them in this week. The biggest thing we want is the ARch port. I don't know if Daryl's on the call.
He is not.
No? Okay. So we'll have another meeting today to discuss it. But that's the biggest piece. I think that's the only reason we may want to push back that date. But I'll wait to discuss with Daryl to see what the progress is there.
Yeah, just in terms of shipping, I don't know how far we want to push more changes in after M2. The risk level of any of those changes goes way up, so we should be quite cautious on the size of the changes going in after that point and the risk of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a delay for the last release because we did put in changes late in the game, and one of them caused the problem, and we had to wait for a fix. So it delayed the last release.
Would be good to avoid that this time. Anything else we want to say on the 040 release? Okay. That brings us to JDK 21. Do we have a milestone for 21?
Yes.
Just gonna pull up the link for that. All right, milestone. And where are we? Have we started talking about code split dates and the like for JDK 21?
No. I mean, I have some dates. Let me dig them up, but I don't know if we're going to stick to them. So the tentative dates would be to branch July 21, start M2 on the 24th. Sorry, M1 on the 24th. M2 on August 21st. And then the start of GA is September 19th. But I don't think we're anywhere near being ready. So I haven't even, like, the next release, right now I'm calling it 041, assuming that we're not going to have a JDK 21 release in September. So that could change, but we don't have the tests going properly. We haven't merged in the latest code. I don't really know where we stand.
Okay.
So if we can't get something together for September, then we'll try for October, the next quarter release in October, to have a 21.
All right. Yeah, I guess all we can do is keep working towards that date and see where we get to.
Yeah, once we get the code updated, hopefully we'll have time to look at the tests and try to get the tests into good shape so we can start running them regularly. And I guess we'll have all the JEPs because they should all be merged now. And we can see where we stand, how many failures we've got to look at, besides the things that are already in the Java 21 milestone plan. Yeah.
Just noticing that structured concurrency became a preview in 21.
I thought we were in fairly good shape for some of those things.
The last update I had heard on structured concurrency was very much a sort of a wet finger estimate that said it was going to be 6 months of work, and I don't know if those 6 months of work started at that point in time or if we've been coming down the road. Toby, do you know if the structured concurrency work has started?
So I can let Jack elaborate, but it sounds like the cases that we thought we would need to address, we no longer have to, and there seems to be sufficient support with the current virtual threads implementation to pass all the structured concurrency tests that exist in JTREG. But Jack can elaborate.
Yeah, so based on what we found, the structured concurrency work is mostly all done in the JCL. So from the OpenJ9 perspective, we haven't seen anything that we particularly need to address on in terms of getting support into JDK 21. We are still waiting for the JCK test to come out to ensure that we have full coverage in terms of the functionality. But based on the current testing that we can see, other than a few that was internal mechanism differences, other than that, all of the existing tests we have on structured concurrency already passes.
Okay. I thought there was an issue with nested continuations.
Yeah,
That get resolved?
that one is the way it was done. I think it was hotspot specific that had the issue because the way they were doing on stack transitions, they were nesting multiple continuations on the single stack. But since OpenJ9 decided to allocate a stack for each of the continuation, we don't really have that problem.
Okay. Good to hear. All right. Yeah, I don't think anything else in this list jumps out at me as surprising or particularly difficult for us, given the work that's been going on. So it's good to hear. Any other comments on JDK 21? All right. Adam, is there an update on infrastructure?
Sorry, I was on another window. Not much. The infrastructure around 21 is pretty much ready. The only thing left is like IBM internal stuff. I didn't talk to Pete about machine capacity, his opinion on how it will be once we have an extra release version going.
Well, we're not going to right now.
Yeah, it'll be like next spring, right? Like March or something. Or I guess leading up to that one.
Yes.
Well, as soon as we ship a 21, we will have an extra release, right? Because we'll start work on 22.
Right. So it'll be late this year.
Yeah.
If we said that 21 doesn't, even if we said it doesn't ship until October, we're talking needing to prep for a 22 to ship in March. So we would need build capacity to be building ahead throughout that time.
Right. So I guess the question to Pete was how concerned he is with machine capacity.
Yeah, not yet, I guess is the answer, because we're going to be stopping building 20 and then 21 will take its place. And we probably just won't do much with Next for a while.
But come the end of the year,
We'll have to try to fit things in. Maybe we'll start running certain things on alternate nights if that's what we have to do, or we'll go longer into the daytime for the overnight testing. We'll just see how it goes, do what we have to do.
Okay. So if we could get more, we should try, is what I'm hearing.
Well, we don't have any numbers yet because we haven't tried yet.
Right.
So I don't know if we could get more without having real numbers. We could try. If somebody's willing to give us more, we'll take it.
Okay.
Probably worth characterizing what our usage is right now. You know, how long, what time do we start our nightly builds? How late do they run? How many builds do we have to push through in a given day? Because that gives you you can say, look, we're doing this, we're going to need, you know, a fourth more of that once 21 ships.
Could
So
we,
The thing that probably hurts us most at the moment is OMR acceptance, because it starts at 5 in the morning and runs till late in the afternoon.
and that runs 3 or 4 versions right now.
Running 4 versions.
Would that
And
change?
yeah, when we'll get rid of 20 and add 21 when we're able to do that. And then at some point we'll want to add 22.
Okay.
And it's running more testing than it was before. So it used to just run Sanity functional, and now it's running Sanity functional and Sanity OpenJDK. And sometimes the long thing seems to be Windows. It's like we'll get one version of Windows that seems to be testing very slowly, which, you know, we've seen before. Those Windows machines sometimes seem to run slow.
Right. The other thing I was going to suggest, we could maybe for like a week or something fake adding an extra version to the nightly, just to double, even if it's double something up, just to see how long extra it takes. That way we know how much of a problem it's going to be. We could do that with our acceptance as well, but I mean, if you're already saying it's already that long, we know it's a problem already. So it's only going to get worse.
that's worth running some of those experiments. If you believe that there's someone who will take those numbers into account and possibly cough up more machines.
Right.
If there's no hope of getting more machines, I'm not sure the experiments buy us anything.
Okay. Okay. I'll put together some planning for it and go from there.
Right. Thanks, Adam. Anything else for the infrastructure?
Nope.
You can tell which machines are slower by looking at the OMR acceptance build. Like some of the platforms are already done, and S390, Windows, and AIX are all pending, and some Xlinux. But we know that I think we have lots of Xlinux. It's just their machines are quite slow.
Right. Yeah, depending on which platform it is, will give us a different answer.
So those would be the platforms to concentrate on. Like if we could get more AIX, more S390, and maybe more Windows, or just make the existing Windows ones faster.
Okay. I'll continue offline discussion, I guess.
All right. Thanks, Adam. I don't see Marius, so I'm assuming no update on JIT server. Toby, is there any other update you want for CRIU?
No, nothing else to discuss.
All right. Hung, is there any update on Valhalla?
No update this week.
All right. Any other business we want to discuss this week?
Just thank Bebneat again for helping clean up the 2001 milestone plan now that he's on the call.
Yeah,
And
no worries. Yeah.
there is that one scope value
Yes.
issue. That there's still you guys are still working on it, but what do you see the outcome being? Would we deliver that to 2001?
I think we should deliver it because it's a missing feature related to OpenJDK method handles. We never hit it when we were adding support for OpenJDK method handles because we never compiled that rare scenario. And this test case has, I think, highlighted that deficiency. So it doesn't affect scope values. It actually is a missing, the JIT doesn't mirror the interpreter behavior properly for OpenJDK method handles. So we should have it for 0.40. If I don't see Nazim on the call, but we should ask Nazim. We should I'll double check with Nazim if it's feasible to deliver for 0.40 release and then post an update in the issue.
Okay, I've tentatively moved it to the 040 milestone for now. And if we are going to deliver that, if it could happen this week, that would be ideal. Otherwise, we're looking at some delays.
I will pass the message to Nazim and get an update from him.
Okay, thanks.
Any other business? All right, then. Thank you, everybody, and we'll have the next one of these calls next week. And Chang will give us a lightning talk on the FFI work.
Thank you.